Well, how's everyone doing this afternoon? We're delighted to have you here. I want to remind you that we'll be broadcasting live this afternoon, courtesy of the Big Smile Broadcasting Network from right here at the Stoneham Senior Center. Now, folks, you and our studio audience will be privileged to see things that our audience at home does not see. For them and the boys overseas who will hear this program on shortwave tonight, please respond accordingly when we indicate with the applause sign. Can we test that? Let's hear your applause. Come on. Excellent. And I'm getting the sign that we're almost on the air. Get ready, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're on the air. It's time for Big Smile Broadcasting Network's Variety Cavalcade Command Performance USA. Brought to you this week by Maxwell House Coffee. Start your day with a fresh hot cup of Maxwell House. Command Performance USA, with the greatest entertainers and sparkling new stars, come to your living room every week as requested by you, the fighting forces of our armed forces throughout the world. Presented this week and every week till it's over there. Yes, you're very kind, folks. Thank you. Another sparkling hour of music and song, comedy and drama, featuring Big Jake and his family of all-star singers.
Yes, yes, track 29. And would you give me a shot? I can afford to board the Chattanooga choo-choo. Choo-choo, I got my fare, and just to travel the spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station by 4:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Carolina, when you hear the whistle blowing into the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Shovel on the coal and gotta keep it rolling. Woo-woo, Chattanooga, there you are. Woo-woo! There's gonna be a certain party at the station. Call funny things. Well, don't you know she's gonna cry until I promise that I'll never roll. Oh, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? You leave the Pennsylvania station by 4:45. You read a magazine and then you read Baltimore. Dinner in the diner, now the movie finder, then to have you have the next Carolina. Whistle blowing into the bar, then you know that Tennessee is not very far. Shovel on the coal and gotta keep it rolling. Woo-woo, Chattanooga, there you are. Woo-woo! There's gonna be a certain party at the station. Yes, yes, Saturdays. I used to call Funny Face. Well, don't you know she's gonna cry until I promise that I'll never roll. Oh, Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga, I said Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga, yeah. Sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease, gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories.
ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to our featured singer for today's broadcast, Miss Elena Mae Jacobs.
My story is much too sad to be told, but practically everything leaves me totally cold. The only exception I know is a case when I'm out at a quiet spree, fighting vainly that old ennui, and I suddenly turn and see your fabulous face. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you? I get no kick from cocaine. I'm sure that if I took even one sniff, it would bore me terrifically too. Did I get a kick out of you? I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to me you obviously don't adore me. I get no kick in a plane, flying too high, but some guy in the sky is my idea of nothing to do. Yet I get a kick out of you.
And now I'd like to present the very serious leader of our group and the man with the big baritone voice, Big Jake.
Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room, and night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dream. Some enchanted evening, you may hear some laughing. You may hear her laughing across a crowded room, and night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will ring in your dreams. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you feel her calling across a crowded room, then fly to her side and make her your own. For all through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let
Wake up needing a laxative? Let's look at Frank one morning.
Boy, do I need a laxative. Oh, gosh, I'm trying a court case this morning, and I'll have to postpone it. I can't go running out in the middle of the trial.
Well, Frank put off that needed relief.
Oh.
So, troubled by constipation symptoms, he loses his temper and the case.
Guilty.
Bert, on the other hand, was as smart as he could be. He took Speedy Sal Hepatica. He had to go to court too this morning, but he knew he had to go before he went to court. Relieved in feeling more like himself,
Not guilty. Oh,
Bert
boy.
won his case. Sal Hepatica worked gently but thoroughly. Need a clever stocking stuffer? Try the new personalized plastic container of Sal Hepatica. Keep your whole family as regular as clockwork. But Sal Hepatica is only available in limited quantities to you because the country comes first. So if Sal Hepatica is not on your druggist shelf, please be patient and know that the boys over there are getting the best. Several seasons ago, radio listeners were mildly startled by the introduction of one of the most unconventional married couples in microphone history. And now, for your enjoyment, ladies and gentlemen, here are Jake and Elena as the Bickersons in The Honeymoon is Over. Mrs. Bickerson rises and contacts the doctor in a sympathetic anguish at 2 o'clock in the morning as poor husband John, victim of contagious insomnia or Schmo's disease, broadcasts the telltale symptoms during the crucial stage of the dread ailment. Listen.
Dr. Hershey, it's Blanche Bickerson. John is worse than ever, Dr. Hershey.
I can't hear you on account of those fire engines.
That's my husband.
What? Incredible. Tell him to do that again.
I don't have to. He will.
Mrs. Bickerson, it's definitely an enlarged uvula condition, and that roaring indicates he's a mouth breather.
Maybe, but John isn't breathing through his mouth.
And what makes you so sure?
I taped it shut.
That isn't wise, Mrs. Bickerson. There's only one course of treatment, but it's very expensive. It'll be $200 down and $25 a month for 11 months, plus charges for extras.
Sounds like buying a new car.
I am. Good night, Mrs. Bickerson.
Good night, Dr. Hershey. Oh, maybe John will be quiet now. John, turn over on your side. Go on, John. Oh, stop making that funny noise. Oh, I forgot the adhesive tape.
What's the matter with you, Blanche? Who taped up my mouth?
I just can't stand it anymore, John. Night after night, I walk floors and get into a state because you snore and howl and snore and whine like a bulldozer. It's any wonder I'm so irritable and ill-tempered. If Dr. Hershey won't help you, what am I to do?
Take a couple of shots of bourbon. Always works for me.
I haven't slept for so long, I'm a nervous wreck. I bury my head under the pillows to block out your snoring, and when I get up every morning, I have a crank in my collarbone.
Blanche, put out the light.
I will not. How would you like to go through your entire life with a constant pain in your neck?
Well, I took you for better or worse.
What? You sure took advantage of those innocence and youth years.
Oh, don't give me that innocence and youth. You no spring chicken either.
I must have been. I would have never picked up a worm like you.
Why don't you go to sleep?
It's all been about you. How you suffer. I didn't get such a bargain, you know.
Okay.
There are better fish in the sea.
Yeah, there's better bait, too. Oh, for heaven's sake, Blanche, will you please put out the light? What's the matter with you tonight?
I've been so upset. I forgot to give you something and it came for you yesterday.
Oh, a letter?
Special delivery and registered. It was addressed to you and marked strictly personal and private.
Oh, what did it say?
You needn't be so snide about it, John. I wouldn't have read it, but I accidentally steamed it open when I was pouring myself a cup of tea.
Let me see it.
You can read it in the morning. Just go to sleep.
I want to read it now.
Oh, all right. Here it is.
Oh, from the government.
Good night, John.
Mr. John Bickerson. Sir, in checking your return for 1941, we find you have
overpaid your taxes. Enclosed, find a check for $76.50. Well, say, what a break. I finally had some good luck. Blanche, where's the check? Don't act sleepy now. What did you do with my $76?
I bought a beautiful handbag. It's shark skin trimmed with snake skin and it matches my calf skin boots.
$76 for a shark skin snake? Take it back. Take it back. Do you hear me?
Stop screaming!
How could you squander my hard-earned money like this? I denied myself everything. I've been cutting the scraps off your old garter belts and wearing them for bow ties. I had my feet hand-soled in a blacksmith just to save on shoes. I don't even drink my bourbon anymore. I just licked the label and hit myself over the head with a bottle. I don't spend a nickel on myself.
You bought a new watch chain yesterday.
What watch chain? The zipper fell off my pants. You get that money back. Do you hear me?
Now don't yell at me.
I don't mind going with torn clothes and holes on my socks, but I'm not going to suffer through those lunches anymore.
What's the matter with your lunches?
Oh, you ought to know. You pack them for me. I just getting sick of carrying my lunch to work in a paper sack. Oh, why can't I go to the restaurant like the other fellas?
John, what are you talking about? I haven't fixed your lunch for 2 years.
Oh, Blanche, every morning of my life I find my lunch wrapped in a brown paper bag on the side of the sink.
John, that's the garbage. You didn't buy me anything for our anniversary. Can I keep it, please?
No.
Please?
Oh, what's the use?
Can I keep the bag, John?
Oh, how I slave and sweat to bring money and soul together, deprive myself of every tiny luxury to try and make both ends meet. It isn't worth it. One fatal swoop and she squanders 2 years' savings. What's a man got to live for? I wish I had the courage to... Maybe I will. Life means nothing anymore. There's only one thing I can do.
John, what is it? What are you gonna do?
Oh.
Oh, John.
I have a sad story to tell you. It may hurt your feelings a bit. Last night when I walked in the bathroom, I stepped in a pile of shaving cream. Be nice and clean, shave every day and you'll always look keen. I think I'll break up with my girlfriend. Her antics are queer, I'll admit. Each time I say, darling, I love you, she tells me that I'm full of shaving cream. Be nice and clean, shave every day and you'll always look keen. Our baby fell out of the window. You'd think that her head would be split. But good luck was with her that morning. She fell in a barrel of shaving cream. Be nice and clean, shave every day and you'll always look keen. An old lady died in a bathtub. She died in a terrible fit. In order to fulfill her wishes, she was buried in 6 feet of shaving cream. Be nice and clean, shave every day and you'll always look keen. When I was in France with the army, one day I looked into my kit. I thought I would find me a sandwich, but the darn thing was loaded with shaving cream. Be nice and clean, shave every day and you'll always look keen. And now folks, my story has ended. I think it is time I should quit. Now if any of you are offended, stick your head in a barrel of shaving cream. Be nice and clean, shave every day and you'll always look keen. Thank you, folks. And now we'd like to bring back Big Jake and his featured singer, Miss Elena May.
I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. I've got daisies in green pastures, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. Oh, man, trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door, yeah. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more. I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. I've got daisies in green pastures, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. Oh, man, trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door, yeah. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, from border to border and coast to coast and all the ships at sea. Flash! We interrupt our program to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News. At 20 minutes before 8 Central Time, Professor Parrell of the Mount Jennings Observatory, Chicago, Illinois, reported observing several explosions of incandescent gas occurring at regular intervals on the planet Mars. The spectroscope indicates the gas to be hydrogen and moving towards Earth with enormous velocity. Professor Pearson of the observatory at Princeton confirms Farrell's observation and describes the phenomenon as, quote, like a jet of blue flame shot from a gun, unquote. We now take you to our reporter at large, Mr. Carl Phillips, with what we believe may be a related story.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Carl Phillips at the Wilmot Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Well, I hardly know where to begin. But to paint for you a word picture of the strange scene before my eyes, there is a thing directly in front of me, half buried in a vast pit. What must have struck with terrific force. The ground is covered with splinters of a tree it must have struck on its way down. Well, what I can see of the object itself doesn't look much like a meteor, or at least not the meteors I've seen. It looks more like a huge cylinder. It has a diameter of, I don't know, about, I'd say, oh my, there seems to be some movement in the pit. Yes, there's something down there. I can't see. Wait a minute. Well, some trucks and jeeps are driving up now. I think it's... yes, the army has arrived. They're moving us back. I'm afraid I have to go, but I'll report back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now return to our regular scheduled entertainment.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true, make me be blue.
bring you George Burns and Gracie Allen.
This is Gracie Allen, your Hollywood reporter, bringing you the latest inside gossip.
I see you're going to tell all the boys all that is going on in Hollywood.
Why, sure, George. A soldier's not only interested in what's going on at the front he is fighting on, but also the other fronts. He's interested in the home front. He's interested in Lana Turner and Betty Grable.
Never mind.
I'm just bursting with news about film stars. Now, take Ann Sheridan, for instance.
How long will that offer be open?
What do you mean?
I think you should forget the whole thing.
I don't know why. I know my uncle was a field marshal in the last war, and I used to write him all the gossip.
Your uncle was a field marshal.
Yeah, well, not exactly a field marshal. He was a Marshall Field.
A Marshall Field.
Well, sort of between a Marshall Field and a court plasterer. What I mean is that every time he got plastered, he was court martial.
I see what you mean.
Well, he's more like a brigadier general.
Brigadier General.
Well, he wasn't exactly a brigadier general. He was generally in the brig.
He probably was a second lieutenant.
That's what he was. Yeah, that's it. A second lieutenant.
And he liked all the gossip of Hollywood.
Yeah, that's how I knows the boys will like it. Fellas, I have a surprise for you. You soon will be receiving the backless sweaters that I knitted for you.
Just a minute, Gracie. You've been knitting backless sweaters.
Yes, the Red Cross asked me to knit some sweaters from the boys on the front.
Now I know where the old joke comes from. I see your back from the front.
Fellas, if you ever get a chance to meet Irene Dunn.
Gracie, by the way, what's Irene Dunn doing?
Irene Dunn doing?
Yes, what's Irene Dunn doing?
Dunn doing. What kind of English is that?
English, what I said was, what is Irene Dunn doing?
You mean, what is Irene Dunn?
Gracie, isn't Irene Dunn a motion picture star?
Yes, I saw her in Penny Serenade.
Well, that's the picture that Irene Dunn did.
Dunn did?
Yes.
That's even worse than Dunn doing.
No, look, Gracie, when Irene Dunn does a picture, it doesn't mean that Irene Dunn done a picture. It means that Irene Dunn did a picture, and the picture that Dunn did is what Dunn's done.
Come on, George. I'll take your left arm and the nurse will take your right.
Gracie, why don't we sing a song for these folks?
Sure!
Dozy does a little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Maresy dozy does a little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? If the words sound queer and funny to the ear, a little bit jumbled and jivey, sing mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. Oh, maresy dozy does a little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Ain't she wonderful, folks? Never took a lesson. Oats and dozy dotes, and little lambs eat ivy. A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Mares eat oats and does eat oats, and little lambs eat ivy. A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? The words seem queer and funny to your ear, a little bit jumbled and jivey. But mares eat oats and does eat oats, and little lambs eat ivy. Mares eat oats and does eat oats, and little lambs eat ivy. A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? A kiddly divey too,
wouldn't you?
How about that, folks? How about a round
Oh, the shark has pretty teeth, dear, and it shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has old Mac Keith, dear, and he keeps it way, way out of sight. When that shark bites with its teeth, dear, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves though wears old Mac Keith, dear, so there's never a trace of red. On the sidewalk on Sunday morning, don't you know, lies a body just oozing life. Hey, someone's sneaking around that corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife? On a tugboat out on Charles River going slow. Oh, a seaman bag's just dropping on down. That cement is just for the weight, dear. 5 will get you 10, that old Mackie's back in town. Oh, my man Louis Miller, he disappeared, dear, right after drawing out all of his hard-earned cash. But Mac he'd spend like a sailor. Could it be your boy gone on something rash? Oh, I said Louis Miller, Suki Tawdry, look out Miss Lorelina, and Lucy Brown. Said the line forms on the right bay. Now that Mackie's back in town. Oh, I said Louis Miller, Miss Lorelina, look out for Miss Paula Beecher and Lucy Brown. Said that line forms on the right bay. Now that Mackie's back in town. Yeah, he's back in town. Oh, look out, old Mackie, he's back. Yeah.
All right, give it up for Big Jake.
Good. That's what Campbell soups are. Good.
And now it's time for a special contest where we ask members of our studio audience to complete the phrase, I like Campbell soup because... And I have 3 contestants we've chosen in the audience. Come here, sir. Step right up to the microphone. Tell me, what's your name?
George
George, and where are you from, George?
Stoneham,
George Stoneham. You're in the Air Force retired. You're in the Air Force, George? Were you a flyer?
30 years.
30 years you got high. That's wonderful, George. Good for you. Now, can you complete the phrase, I like Campbell soup because...
I don't know why.
How about because it's good?
Oh, soup was good.
Soup is good. Okay,
George
thank you,
likes
George.
Campbell soup because it's good.
It's good. Now, that's right, Judith. That's right. Come on over here, Judith. My second volunteer, I know your name because she's wearing a name tag, I guess. She forgets her name probably every once in a while. Judith, where are you from, dear?
Melrose.
What do you do in Melrose, Judith?
I'm retired.
You're retired? That's a very nice thing to be. I'd like to be that. When I grow up, that's what I want to be, Judith. Can you complete the phrase? I like Campbell's soup because
It's good.
somehow I've heard that phrase before, haven't you, Jay?
Judith says that she likes Campbell's soup because it's good.
And let's bring up our third contestant who's not wearing a name tag, so I must ask the lovely lady, what is your name?
Mary.
Mary. That's a fine old name. I believe there's a song about your name, several. Mary, where are you from?
Melrose.
Well, another person from Melrose. And what do you do in Melrose?
I'm retired too.
Oh boy, two retirees who came and joined us today. Mary, can you complete the phrase? And don't say, give me something. I like Campbell's soup because
It's tomatoey.
it's tomatoey, ladies and gentlemen. How about that?
Mary likes Campbell's soup because it's tomatoey.
Well, why don't we see how the audience feels? First of all, Frank. How many like Frank's answer that it's good? George, I'm sorry, George.
George.
Okay. How about Judith, who also said it's good? And Mary's answer, because it's tomatoey good. Well, what are we thinking?
Oh, I'm thinking they're all winners,
Absolutely.
David. Let's hear it for our contestants. Yes. Good job. And Mary, we have something just for you. You might have asked for this. We didn't even know. We have a can of tomato soup.
Why
Just for
don't we, Big
Mary.
Jake, let's give all of our
Let's give all our contestants a can of tomato soup. Let's hear it once again for Campbell's soup, everybody. Everybody. Good. Good. That's what Campbell's soups are. Good.
Beautiful. That's funny.
You wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Pepsodent.
And now we present an encore performance of The Shadow, presented by Pepsodent.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
The Shadow, a man of mystery who strikes terror into the very souls of evildoers everywhere. Lamont Cranston, a man of wealth, a student of science, and a master of other people's minds, devotes his life to righting wrongs, solving crimes, protecting the innocent, and punishing the guilty. Cranston is known to the underworld as the Shadow, never seen, only heard, as haunting to superstitious minds as a ghost, as inevitable as a guilty conscience. With his friend and constant companion, the lovely Margot Lane. The Shadow meets up with danger tonight when the ghost walks again. We spare no expense, folks. Peaceful night has fallen on the small New England town where Lamont Cranston and Margot Lane have been investigating a series of murders the town's people believe was perpetrated by a ghost. We hear the footsteps of the couple heading towards the village meeting, taking a shortcut through an ancient graveyard, when suddenly...
Lamont!
Yes?
Lamont, isn't that a freshly dug grave?
Well, it certainly looks like one.
Odd. There've been no burials there in over 200 years.
We'd better take a look.
Hold the lantern higher, Lamont. That's it.
Oh, say, that's the grave of Sir Roger Mathis. Now, who could have done that?
I don't know, but it's a terrible trick. Desecrating a 200-year-old grave, the grave of our first governor of our colony. Whoever the meddler was should...
No meddler desecrated this grave!
Who was that?
Lamont, look, walking toward us.
His clothes are covered with dust and so old. Knee breeches, powdered hat, Puritan wig.
Lamont, look at his face. It's horrible.
It looks like the old pictures of Sir Roger.
I am Sir Roger! I've returned from the dead!
Oh, the world is spinning.
Oh, Margot! Are you okay?
Look to see me no more, mortal.
Oh, the lantern! It's gone out! Where is it? Oh, here it is. Don't worry, Margot. I'll have this lit in a jiffy. Margot, where has she gone? The ghost must have taken her.
Where am I?
We're in a secret compartment beneath the meeting hall, and you are my prisoner.
Let me out of here!
Cry louder if you wish. No one will hear. These walls were made especially thick to muffle sound. They had a purpose in building them that way in the olden days.
What do you mean?
This room was an ancient torture chamber. Look about you. See the white-hot branding iron I placed in the fire.
Take off that hat and wig. Darrow, then it was you that has been impersonating the ghost of Sir Roger.
Correct. In the days of the Puritans, they had a very satisfactory method for dealing with meddlers like you. They branded them on the forehead.
No! No!
Yes, soon, young lady, you shall feel the searing agony of that branding iron biting into your flesh.
You're mad!
Drop that iron, Mr. Darrow.
Who was that? Where does that voice come from?
I'm right beside you, Darrow. Don't trouble yourself to look for me. No human eyes have ever seen me. Now let go of that branding.
No, let go of my arm. Let me finish my work.
There. Your work is finished, Mr. Darrow.
Who are you?
I am the Shadow, and I'll put an end to your career of torture and murder. But why did you do it? Why did you kill those men?
Because of my uncle, Silas Crossman. I hate him and all he stands for. But now I've had my revenge. He will be blamed. He will be held responsible for the murders.
What makes you think that?
Because none of us are leaving this building alive.
Look out! He's tipping over the fire in the forge!
Don't do that, Darrow!
It's done now, Shadow. Look! The flames are already licking up the walls. This old hall is a tinderbox. It'll burn in no time.
The fire is catching all over the room!
What are you going to do now, Shadow?
We're getting out of here. Go to that door at the end of the room, Margot. If you can get to those doors, we have a chance to escape. Hurry! Hold my hand, Margot.
There's smoke, Lamont! I can't see!
We've got to keep going. We should be near the door.
Lamont! There's smoke!
Margot! I'll carry you. We haven't far to go. Only have to make it to the door. Wait, this is it. I found the door. Margot, we've made it. How do you feel, Margot?
Better, thank you.
Well, take a look at that old meeting hall. It's a mass of flames.
Yes, we got just in time. Any sign of Darrow?
Look! In the belfry of the meeting house! There's someone standing up there!
Lamont! It's Darrow!
Yes, look at him. He's waving his arms, shouting something to the crowd.
Lamont! He's gonna jump!
Don't do it! Don't do it! Turn your head, Margot. The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our encore of The Shadow. And now I'd love to bring to the stage, for your listening pleasure, Miss Elena Mae Jacobs.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that's ringing just for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I would swear I was born. I would swear I was born Nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but I'm perfectly willing to swear that when you turned and smiled at me, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. The moon that lingered over London town, poor puzzle moon, he wore a frown. How did he know we two were so in love? The whole darn world seemed upside down. Beats of time were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And when we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. The moon that lingered over London town, oh, puzzle moon, he wore a crown. How could he know we two were so in love? The whole darn world seemed upside down. The streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And when we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I know, 'cause I was there that night in Berkeley
And now, with an encore performance of one of the most well-known and popular routines of all time, please welcome Mr. Bud Abbott and Mr. Lou Costello with Who's on First?
Hey, Bud! You know, Costello, the Sox manager, gave me a job as assistant manager and coach, and as long as you're on the team.
Oh, hey, that's great. That's great. So, you must know all the players on the team.
I certainly do, I certainly
Well,
do.
maybe you can tell me their names so I know who's on the team.
Well, I'll tell you the names, but you know, it seems to me they give these ball players today very peculiar nicknames.
You mean funny names?
Yeah, strange names, pet names like Dizzy Dean.
Oh, yeah, his brother, Daffy.
That's right, Daffy Dean.
Oh, and their French cousin.
Their French cousin?
Yeah, Gouffet.
Ah, Gouffet Dean, yes. Well, let's see, Jake. On the bench, we have who's on first, what's on second, and I don't know who's on third.
Well, that's what I want to find out.
I said who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Look, you gonna be a manager?
Yes?
You gonna be a coach too?
Yes?
You don't know the fellow's names?
I should.
Then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name?
Yes.
The guy on first?
Who?
The first baseman?
Who?
The guy playing first
Who's
base!
on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
Oh, that's the man's name.
That's who?
Yes.
Look, you got a first baseman?
We certainly do.
Who's on first?
Yes.
Right. When you pay the first baseman at the end of every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
I want to know the fella that gets the money. I mean,
Who?
the guy.
That's it.
Who does?
Who gets the money?
Who gets
Every
it?
dollar of it. You know, sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
All right, look. When he collects his money, how does he sign for it?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
The guy.
That's how he
The
signs
guy that
it.
gets the money.
Who?
Who gets the money?
Yes.
I just want to know what's the guy's name on first base.
No. What is on second
I'm
base?
not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
Okay, one base at a time.
Don't change the players
I ain't
around.
changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
That's all right. I just want to know who's playing first base.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
What's the first baseman's name?
No, what is on
I'm
second?
asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't
Now,
know!
he's on third. We're not even talking about him.
Now, how did I get on third base?
You mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third base?
No, who was playing first?
Now, that's it. Look at, all right, wait, just look at. Would you please stay on third base and don't go off of it?
Well, you mentioned his name.
All right, listen. Now, who's playing third base?
Who was on first?
What am I putting there?
Why do you insist on putting who at third base?
Why? What am I putting over there?
No. What is on second?
I'm asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
There you go. Oh, man. Look at it. You got an outfield?
Sure.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Well, then go ahead and tell me who's playing left field.
Who was playing first?
Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the left fielder's name.
No, what is on second?
I'm asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
Because.
No, he's center field.
Look. You got a pitcher on this team?
Fine, pitcher without a team without a pitcher. Of course we do.
What's the pitcher's name?
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you now.
What time?
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time? What?
What time tomorrow? You gotta tell me who's pitching.
Now listen. Who is not pitching? Who?
I'll break your arm. You say who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third base.
There you go. You got a catcher in this team?
Certainly.
The catcher's name.
Today.
Today. And tomorrow's pitching.
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple of days in this team.
Well, I can't help that.
Well, you know, I'm a catcher too.
You know, I've heard that.
All right, like, say I'm catching, right? And tomorrow, he's pitching on my team. And that heavy hitter gets up, right? And he decides to bunt the ball. Now me, being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out at first base. So I pick up the ball, and I throw it to who?
Now that's the first thing you've said right today.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
But that's all you have to do.
Just throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Now who's got it?
Naturally.
If I throw the ball to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now who's got it?
Naturally.
Who's got it?
Naturally.
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 Okay, so I pick up the ball and I throw it to